Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Minute of the Apes podcast. The podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time and give you every detail that we can find. With me on the other end is my friend Sean.
Hello.
And I'm Todd. So, we're going to jump into this week right away and do what we try to do every time, every week, and that's thank the guys that created this whole genre of the minute-by-minute breakdown, and that would be Pete and Alex from the Star Wars Minute. They do a great job. Star Wars to me is still probably my favorite franchise there is. I love listening to the guys because even whenever they have somebody on to me that is a Star Wars nerd, they break it down in the wrong manner. It's still a fun way to listen. You'll see the movies in ways that you never knew that you could.
No doubt.
I'm not saying you're going to end up liking Attack of the Clones. But at least
it doesn't make Phantom Menace any better, no.
No, I tried. I listened and I kept thinking, come on, it has to get better with this. But if anything, it only infuriated me more because I started to realize what a turd it is.
Yes.
Anyway, so
right.
On to a bunch of Planet of the Apes type things. We open this minute with Taylor. Think there has to be something better than man, and it ends with our astronauts finding a weed in the middle of the desert. So
all right, we're at 3 living humans, 1 dead human, the breeder is dead, no apes, and a plant.
And still tons of disdain for each other.
Oh, yeah. And I tell you what, this is a slow minute. It's just the end of a conversation, like 15 seconds, and then literally 2 shots of people running up a hill and down a hill to find a plant.
And it's like the only real action in this is Dodge standing at the top of the hill pulling a C-3PO going, over here!
Over here! Over here!
So everybody runs up because he's doing that. He's throwing the over here fit.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, before we got to that, Taylor is really full of self-loathing, I think. He thinks there has to be something better than man in the universe. Like, okay, so I'm assuming he discounted all the cool creatures on Earth, like dolphins and pangolins and capybaras and penguins.
Right.
I mean, if he thinks those are worse than men, I'm just going to have a fight with him. Pangolins rule.
That is true that, he puts down everything. I guess he's the only thing of worth in the whole universe.
Yes, because he's the seeker.
Which I mentioned to Sean and when we were ramping up. If you've never heard the Who song, The Seeker, that's as soon as he said it, that's all I could hear was, they call me The Seeker. So now that's going to be his theme song every time I ever watch these movies going forward.
We don't have to pay royalties for that, do we?
No, because I sang it.
Okay, good.
It was my interpretation of a classic song.
Yes, okay, now Dodge is finally acknowledging the group from the top of the hill.
So Dodge is from the top of the hill screaming out, over here. How did he see that milkweed? Because in the next shot, it's him going down the hill. And
I had that
no
exact same note. I said he must have the greatest eyes known to man. Well, technically, he's got one of the 3 greatest sets of eyes left known to man.
Well, that is true. I guess whenever there are only 3 of you left, you can actually take that mantle very assuredly of the most eagle-eyed person there is.
Yeah. I mean, I think, but according to Landon's logic, Taylor might murder both those guys just to get to the plant first.
Well, so he's standing at the top of this hill, and this is not a tumbleweed-sized plant.
No, this is just a little tiny weed that you want to pull out of your yard, like dandelions.
It's the kind that when you walk up in your yard, you're like, oh crap, when did I get a weed? And you pull it up, and it has little yellow flowers on it. But set against a very almost white, sandish, rocky terrain, there's no way I'm seeing that at the top of that hill.
Being a good couple 100 yards away, yeah.
But, I guess that's why they brought him, is that his vision allows him to he's the seeker. He can seek stuff out with that extra sensory perception.
Yep, and going back to kind of what we talked about last minute, again, this is very slow-paced. It's from 21:15 to 21:48 is literally just 2 shots. 2 people running up a hill,
right.
Another one, 3 people running down a hill. If they had shot it today, it would have been close-ups of feet going up and hands grasping into the ground, rocks tumbling down. It would have been 20 shots easy.
Well, and then also, even with the stuff between Taylor and Landon, we would have had a ton of over-the-shoulder shots. We would have cut back and forth. We would have had so much more production in it than simply allowing a one-shot to play with two people bitching at each other.
Yeah, and just I'm wondering also how many times they had to do this running down the hill if anybody tripped going down.
Well, I don't know because
that's true. They only had that one set of footprints coming down unless they reset somehow. But that dirt is so unique. I don't think they could do that.
That's exactly what I thought because
it's not like sand.
It's not like sand where you could just wipe away the footprint. This stuff they actually the foot looks like it goes down in it and almost impacts the dirt. So
yeah, like they only did it once.
Well, apparently Schaffner was a one-take wonder. He got his stuff and got out of there, so maybe that was.
Wait, did you say Shatner?
Schaffner.
Oh,
Shatner. No, Bill Shatner was not there. Thank God.
Yes. I found the plant. Damn it.
So as they get down to the milkweed, they all once again fall to their knees in the manner that they do throughout this movie. Every time they stop, they have to fall to
dramatically.
They can't
collapse.
Just kneel. They fall down. And Dodge pulls out what looks like a pocket knife to begin digging up the plant. Now, I'm not saying that we have to, when we went through the inventory, that we had to know everything he had, but we certainly didn't hear he had a pocket knife.
No, well, at least he didn't shoot the plant.
That's true. But Taylor and Landon thrust their hands right into the dirt and just start digging the damn thing up. First off, why do they need to dig it up? If he has a pocket knife, if they need to collect a sample, could he not just cut a part of it off, put it in a vial, and put it in his backpack?
Yeah.
But instead, we got one dude taking his pocket knife, digging up, the other two joining in, and it's almost like they're unison farmers. It's like ANSA had them all trained to
dig up at one time.
Yes, and then as they stand up, they're all holding it, almost like you think the heavens will open. Oh!
Wait a second. I don't see anybody standing up in this minute. Come on.
Did I get a minute ahead of myself?
You're jumping forward, my friend.
Oh, hang on. Strike that.
Reverse
Wait for tomorrow. There it is.
There you go.
I got so excited because I was so disgusted with this minute, but
yeah, there is not a lot that happens in this minute.
So it's the fact, and I have no production notes. I tried almost for this entire week to find production notes about any of this. Oh my God, I can find nothing. I'm sure there's something exists out there, but I looked and looked and looked. I couldn't find anything about where they shot it other than Utah and Arizona.
Yeah.
I can find nothing.
It just cracks me up that Dodge says life, and then the first thing they want to do is kill it.
Well,
look, it's a plant. Let's destroy it.
Once again, Taylor's self-disgust for himself. He wants to kill everything other than himself. So maybe this is all about he's going to kill these other two men. Maybe he sabotaged the spaceship so he could bring them there so he could kill them.
There you go. He will be the last man on Earth last man alive since he hates every mankind is worthless.
You know, I'm going to jump to other films, but was this the first film before he went on to star? Charlton Heston was in Omega Man and.
I believe so. I can look it up.
This whole idea that he became the last man alive kind of thing. I wonder.
Mega Man was in 1971, so yeah, that was before this, or that Mega Man was after this.
And then Soylent Green kind of had the same thing. So was it like Hollywood looked at him and said, "Ooh, he was such a gripey old bitch in that movie. Let's put him in more movies where he can be a gripey bitch alone on the earth."
Soylent Green was 1973, so yeah, it started the trend of being a grumpy old bastard.
Wow. He went from Moses to grumpy old bitch.
There you go.
That's all I've got. Sean, do you have anything else?
No, that's about it for me too.
Okay. Well, that wraps up another minute of the Minute of the Apes for us. We thank everybody for coming out, and as always, you can find us at minuteoftheapes.com. There you'll find links to all of our social media, such as Twitter and Instagram, as well as a link to our email, which is podcast@minuteoftheapes.com. So, thank you for coming out once again. Sean, say thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks.
Bye.